I'm Kaitlyn Bristowe. Your session is now starting.
Welcome
to the Hey everybody, welcome to Off the Vine. I'm your host, Kaitlyn Bristowe. Today we have the very hilarious Jared Freid in the studio today. Went to your show last night. It was, if anybody has a chance to see you live, they should. It's very entertaining. It went by so fast.
It's a fun show. If you if you go on vacation ever with your family, if you're an adult, if you're a millennial, if you date,
If you're anyone.
If you're anyone, listen. I'm so happy you had fun. I had a blast.
I had the best. You literally mentioned things about Gen Z, millennials, and boomers, and that was your crowd. So it landed with everybody.
I got them all.
And we're gonna get you all today because I sat here and laughed the whole time. I can't believe this is my job.
We are a good mix. It was so much fun. I laughed. You laughed. We cried.
We
talked about.
We bonded over being 39-year-old losers.
39 single losers.
That's us.
Speaking of hammered, I am hungover.
Are you?
I
bet.
Not gonna lie.
I bet.
I went out afterwards.
A few vodka martinis and then a night out will get you.
Do you know I ordered? I got done at the bar. So I say goodbye to everyone. I get done at the bar. The car takes me to the hotel, and then I go to another bar because I'm like, let me have my moment where I'm by myself.
Yeah, little nightcap.
And then I ordered food, and the delivery guy left the food at the hotel front desk, and he sent me a picture of it.
Yeah.
I hearted it like he was my girlfriend. I heart reacted.
You did?
To the bag of food, the bag of garbage he left me.
What kind of garbage did you order?
Subs.
Subs.
I order. You're
in Nashville and you order subs.
I'm the worst nighttime eater.
Are you staying at the place that they put you up for Zanies, or did you?
No, I got I'm staying at Soho House. I love it there.
Oh, right. I knew you.
I'm staying at Soho. For anyone listening and wondering, and they don't do, I don't know. I order food. I have this this just happened. I have this demented dream that anytime I order food, I'm gonna they're gonna pass me in stride and hand it to me as I'm walking to my room
I do try and do that though. I do.
Do you know what I mean? You try to time it out.
Yeah.
And I went. This is a few months ago. I went home and I have contactless delivery and so I go into my apartment and I get undressed, but I take my shirt off. I'm in my jeans, shirtless, and I hear the doorbell ring, and I'm okay, that's the delivery guy, but I don't want to see him.
Right.
So I just go. I'm hammered. I'm 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, and then I go, okay, the perfect crime.
Yeah.
And I go to the front door. I open it. And the guy is taking a picture of the food.
And you're
shirtless, Winnie the Pooh, as fat as you're ever. It's not posing for a picture. It is you have let all your goo out. You know, when you stand and you're this isn't how I stand.
Yeah.
In front of the mirror, we don't even know what we look like.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know what gooey me is.
You do now that the Postmates driver has taken that photo and sent it to you.
He legit had the sound on it. Went, the camera, and I heard it, and I'm just hands down, hey,
the worst.
I'll have my slop now. That's what I look like, and I don't know. I just I want to be able to not nighttime eat in the worst way, and I feel horrible the next morning. When I don't nighttime eat and I wake up the next morning, I'm
oh, you feel so skinny.
I'm am I a supermodel?
I know. Last night we got home from your show and we had Raisin Canes in the fridge, and I was not hungry at all.
Yeah,
but we were but there's Raisin Canes in the fridge. It's
cold fried chicken.
Cold fried chicken
doesn't get the respect it deserves.
Did from
cold
us
pizza?
Last night.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Cold pizza gets all the talk. Cold fried chicken.
Yeah.
It will look like I'm killing the bird again the way I would eat it. It would be so if there was a video out there of me eating cold fried chicken, someone would be this is a man, this is an animal, not a human.
That was us last night. That literally was
with that sauce, the raisin. I don't know if they sponsor
your sauce. No, but I would like to work with them because I've seen them take some pretty sketchy influencers around.
Have they?
And I'm I love the brand.
Yeah, listen, I'm open to some money from Raisin Cane. I would gain 7,000, but if they gave me a free Raisin. I've had it once. That sauce, you do want to drink it. There is a moment where you have to stop yourself.
I would eat it with a spoon.
Right.
Yeah.
My dad does that type of stuff. He'll take a spoon. He'll start eating like the duck sauce. Like
Stop.
he's just he's like me. You know, we're the same.
Yeah. Well,
Just
I mean,
two
we got
pigs.
to witness your stand-up last night, and
Thank
we
you.
realized that you and your dad are the same person.
Same same body. It's like
Okay, same
we have
body,
the same
different
body.
soul.
Well, yeah, we're the same. I mean, my whole family, like the whole stand-up I'm doing is about my parents and my family and like our dynamic and like
It was so relatable to any family, which I found funny.
I appreciate it. You know, it's the thing is, it's like we're in this weird like time right now where like we're not becoming adults in the way our parents became adults.
No.
We're weirdly connected to our parents in the way like when you land somewhere, you text your parents landed.
Yeah.
Like I'm 39. I'm still texting landed.
Same.
Like what's wrong with me?
Oh,
like
and if I
remember-
don't, my mom freaks out.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you didn't call me. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm 39. Did you brush your teeth? Yeah, I did. I'm 39. Again.
Look at my niece just freak
Sydney.
out. That is her grandma, my mother, still texts me asking if I brush my teeth.
It's what, and it's like when did, and the thing is, you think of our parents like growing up. Like I don't remember my parents running to a payphone to call my grandparents to be like landed, like
Oh,
right, like
so what is that? We're just so
I don't know,
like
we're, like,
connected
tethered.
to the phone. I mean,
the phone doesn't help.
yeah, the phone doesn't help.
I mean, in dating, that's a big part of dating too, where you feel more connected to people than you are. You keep in
Yeah.
contact with people that
Yeah.
you have no plan of hanging out with.
Yeah.
Like even the younger generation is sharing their location.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
that's
we just did that today.
we just did that today, but like that's not what
That's
you
for
do.
business purposes. No,
Right?
I
That's not a
only
millennial
follow-
thing. That's a Gen Z thing.
It is a Gen Z thing. I only follow my niece
Mm.
and two of my best friends, and that was because they were worried about me one night because I didn't call and
Right. It's a more female thing than male. Like
Yeah.
I'm not sharing my location with my bros from college.
Yeah,
They're like,
well,
I have a family now. I have my own kids to look after. I don't have to see where you are at 2 a.m. eating subs in Nashville.
I love
I
that you-
ate 2 subs.
Why a sub? That's your go-to.
It was no. But you know why? Quickest to get to me. 25 minutes.
Oh, fair.
It was
Okay.
about speed.
Yeah,
It was about agility
yeah. And
Just me
and the handoff
and
time.
the handoff. And I don't know. I got to make some changes. I had last night.
I'm
I
pretty
woke-
sure we had the same conversation the last time about how we're like,
We really did.
really need to stop doing late night food and like drinking martinis. And here we are a year later doing
Drinking
the same
martini.
shit.
Well, I kind of I'm 39 and I'm single, and I have this I'm like, maybe I just need to give up this single thing. Like
Like
there-
drop the bit.
It's not even a bit. It's not a bit. Like
Huh.
I do. Do you want to be in a relationship? Do you want to?
Yeah, but not one like just to be in a relationship. Like
Right.
I am so scared of dating another man because they are so terrible.
Yeah, we're pretty tough. We're not easy to deal. Listen. I get put in the position. I do a dating podcast.
Yeah.
Where I have to answer for men. I have to give voice to maybe the person you're dealing with.
Yeah.
And it's hard because it is icky. It is hard to explain.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of dating conversations are it's a lot of women telling us what men think. And I'm
Yeah.
like, because they don't, I'm the guy who's out there saying what we really think.
Yeah.
And it's hard because I always have to preface yeah, this is going to be icky. This is going to be, and also there's another person on the other side who's going through their own emotional stuff.
Right.
So I try to personalize, what I've heard back, the feedback I've gotten is that I've made it less personal. Like they're like, oh, okay. It felt better to know that it wasn't he doesn't think,
I get what you're saying. Like last night when you're talking about your mom still texting you about brushing your teeth, I'm like, okay, so it's not just my mom.
Right.
It's
You're not alone.
It makes me feel less angry at her for it because I'm like, okay, it's just her generation. It's just those people as parents. Where it's for that, it's like, okay, this is just men.
Right. And a guy dealing with just like you said, you're like, I'm not going to be in a relationship just to be in a relationship.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people I like that I'm like, I don't know what it is. I don't know what feeling I'm looking for, but
Yeah.
I want, to hang out, I want,
Companionship.
yeah.
Yeah.
And now that I'm 39, men get accused of this, oh, this guy just, there's this thought of that all men are either father of 2 and wonderful husband of the year or womanizing monster.
There's really no in between.
There's no in between. And I like to think I'm somewhere on the spectrum between womanizing monster and father of 2 someday, and I'm not, and it's just, Right? Because like you have this thing. You're like, I want to, but I also want to like cuddle after. Can I have both?
Yes. Wait, I just saw something on daddy issues on Instagram.
Do I have daddy issues? No. No.
You do.
Mommy issues?
Yeah, mommy
I probably
issues.
have mom issue. I don't. Daddy, I know that. That's Violet Benson.
Yes,
Yeah,
Violet. She just posted something where I got confused because, wait, let me pull it up because I feel like men also can't win because
you can't.
Oh, it said something like these men used to fight in wars and now they're like. Wait, let me pull it up.
Right. Well, then this is another conversation. Like it's. I'm not here to say how bad it is to be a man. Listen. It's very hard for us. We're going through a lot. There's nothing harder.
Men used to fight in wars, and now they unsend messages when you don't reply.
Right. Like.
But, and then she quotes, "Now they look for a mother in every girl they meet." And I'm like, men also are in a tough position where you can't win. Because you're either too soft, or you're not manly enough, or you're too sensitive, or you're not calling back. Like, you know what I mean?
I want someone who holds the door open for me and
knows I can hold it for myself.
Right.
Yeah.
And listen, the problem and the solution to all this is the internet, because bad actors take over the dating conversation on the internet. What happens is, like, I posted a thing. It was about how there was a woman. I was on the West Side Highway in New York. It's a beautiful night.
Yeah.
There's a field out there that's like this turf field. It's a beautiful, very rom-com scene field. It's like where me, the fat friend, would be telling my hotter friend, go for the girl. Like it's that field that would be in a rom-com.
Okay.
And I'm sitting there and I just worked out and there's this beautiful woman taking a picture.
Yeah.
And she's beautiful.
Yeah.
And her friend's taking a picture of her.
Yeah.
I don't know what the picture's for. I don't know. But it was like she's dressed up. She looks great.
Yeah.
The sun in the background. And I made a video where I was like, look it, this woman is taking the best dating app profile picture ever to be taken. And I was like, here's a lesson for the women. Most guys are just looking for them dressed as Dwight Schrute from 8 years ago and putting that much effort into their dating profile. So, like, here's the difference in effort level of dating. Like, you have this woman who's out on a beautiful scene with her friend who's the photographer, and he's just like, oh, let me find a picture my girlfriend took of me 20 years ago. With my ex, where I'll cut her out. So, like, again, this is the effort level, which I'm not apologizing for. I'm just saying men try less with dating than women do, generally. But then all these men were like, I guess it's better to be fake than real. And it's like, no, you're a asshole. That's not what I'm saying. Everyone's pictures are fake. No one's taking a picture from underneath their chin with it like this. So, like, the idea that any picture, again, the real picture, if we want to be real, would be of me picking up my food shirtless. That's from the delivery driver. Is that what you want? Nobody wants that. So,
I kind of do, though.
Yeah, that'd be actually good. That's a good idea.
Like
what if you had to take your profile picture had to be like taken by the delivery guy from DoorDash while you pick up your food at 2 a.m.
Yes.
I'd be okay with that, but everyone would have to do it. I just don't like this moral superiority people take online. That's how you win online.
Yeah.
You go, I look at this beautiful picture. Like, oh, I guess you like fake. And it's like,
no, you.
Off, dude.
I mean, you would think by this point in life I would figure out that you can't win on the internet, but I still try to, which is so stupid because I'm just exhausting myself, and that's the only person.
But I'm with you. I'm the same.
Oh, it's just so frustrating. But it reminded me of you talking last night about like you sitting in a beach chair of what you actually look like on the beach, and then you're like, oh great, this is also what I look like during sex. I'm like, okay, that should be a profile picture too. What you actually look like what angle that they're gonna see you at if you guys have sex.
I would never leave the house again. If I saw what I looked like during sex, I would literally disappear to a cave. They'd be like, what happened to Jared Freid? You'd go on a road trip. You'd get off at like a gas station in like Iowa. And then it'd be like me with a beard. It'd be like, were you the guy that used to yell at The Bachelor? And I'd be like, get out of here. Get.
You get
Do you want your chips or not?
You've got sub sauce on your face.
I'm just sub sauce Jared. That's me.
But I do think it's a good idea for profile pictures. I like when people don't try. I'm at the place in my life where I'm like, I don't want someone to try at all anymore.
Want no effort. Well, that is the dream. The problem with the dating apps is, I mean, this is something I say all the time, and I sound like a dick. They were built by male nerds who don't have social capabilities to try and make up for. And again, they're, and I say nerds glowingly, lovingly.
I love a nerd.
Listen, but it's people with low social abilities created the apps as a crutch.
Yeah.
How do I approach a woman without getting turned down? That's really what it is.
Yeah.
You never get turned down on a dating app, right?
Yeah.
If you swipe right and you get no answer, what do you think? Guess they haven't seen me yet.
Right.
So these are created by male, low social ability men. And it's like the reality is most of the people listening, you and I, we don't need that.
Yeah.
We dream of social interactions that are like natural. And again, when you say not trying, because everything done on a dating app is very trying.
Everything.
It's step one, step two. It's anti-romantic.
Yes.
When is the date? When you match, you have a very small amount of time to make the date.
Really?
Yeah, the clock ticks. No, and the idea that like if you and I match on a dating app, hey, what's up? How are you? You're like, I'm good. I'm just sitting at home watching, Bravo. And then I go, oh, what show are you watching? And then we have this nice little interaction. If I don't make a date that night within an hour of chit-chatting, there's no date.
Yeah.
There's a reason I'm not making the date.
That's true.
And people out there, they're like, what do I say to a guy who won't make a date? You unmatch and you move on.
Yeah.
He ain't never going to make a date. If you can't get to date 1, how are you going to get to date 5?
Yeah.
So
but then people think like, oh, well, they just haven't given me a chance.
Right, they're shy or whatever. No, it's bullshit.
Yeah.
It's all bullshit getting served by people taking a moral authority for the least able people.
Yeah.
And it's like that person was able to chit-chat with you about Bravo. They're not able to make a date.
Yeah.
I don't buy it. And that's the thing. I get put in this position where I talk about the male side of dating, and then there's always like, but what about people who can't type really good? And it's like, then how about there's a lot of people out there that say, here's the answer to all your dating questions. I'll answer it right now. You ready?
Yeah.
Instead of saying I'm confused, say I'm turned off. Take the word confused, switch it with turned off. Answer to all your questions. So give me something you're confused about. I'm confused by his texting style. I'm turned off by his texting style. There's the answer to your question. It bothers me that I get, and now I'm shouting, but I get shouted down because I'm right. Yeah. I am not wrong. And it's okay. I believe in redemption too.
Yeah.
So you can be turned, right? So being turned off does not mean walk away. And this is a female issue exclusively to me. Women want their heads chopped off or they want to be pursued like queens.
Yeah.
So it's like when they get anything in between, they go, I guess that guy doesn't like me. I guess he thinks I'm a piece of turd. And it's like, no, be turned off and let someone know you're turned off. I think that is like the answer to so many of your dating questions. I'm confused by him not making a date. Hey, man, what if you text that guy, hey, I'm a little turned off that you haven't made a date yet.
Yeah.
You got my number, make the plan and I'm in.
Yeah.
Now, move on.
Yeah.
So it's like, and this is such simple advice, and the reason no one gives it is because there's people out there, there's dating people in this world. I'm a comedian. I don't need to sit in the dating world. I can go and talk about, I got sent 4 pairs of shoes last week. I did a half-hour podcast about it. Okay, I'll be fine. I don't need to tell you dating woes for the rest of my life. I'll be good. So I don't need these people who are on the internet giving dating advice. They are grifters. They are trying to make money.
Yeah.
So they have to give you, they have to give you theories and rules and everyone's putting together these poems of if he wanted to, he would. And it's like, I get so annoyed because I'm like, no men are included in this conversation ever. It's straight women talking about how straight men think, and it's like I would never speak. I try my best not to speak for women. I'll speak for me. How do I feel? I put up a text. Someone sent me their text interaction with a guy, and I read the text. I go, I would be turned off by this.
Yeah,
because it was boring.
Yeah.
Hey, I'd really like to go out if you just let me know if you're not into this.
Oh, God.
No, just let me know if you're not into this. I'd be like,
dry.
Here's another tip. Here's what I would do. Make yourself a party. If you're not doing that, if you're not making yourself a party, if you're not a party, then who would want to go to your party? So
everyone.
So when does this come out? But you're a fun person, Kaitlyn. I don't think you.
I love throwing parties.
Yeah, but you're a partier.
Yeah,
I love a party. It's like if someone was to text you yesterday, a guy.
Yeah.
And you were like, and they were like, "What are you doing?" You're like, "Going to a comedy show. Got my niece in town.
Yeah.
I know the comedian that's on the show." I'd be like, "Wow, she's doing things."
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I think like, what are you doing this weekend? And if you're not into this, then I can just walk away.
Well, that's just we all know that confidence is
It's hard.
Hard?
Difficult. Yeah, I'm not a confident person. I sit here and scream out of my ass and I eat food at 2 a.m. I can't look in the mirror at my own body. What do you think?
You're confidently insecure. That's what I am.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to put it.
I'm like, I will be so confident in my insecurities and I'll talk about them. I'll talk about when I'm confident, when I'm not. Like, I'm confidently insecure.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
That's a good way to put it. I think I'm... Say that,
Comedians
some
have
could
to
call
have
it vulnerability.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes. To be a comedian, you have to have some confidence.
Yes, and you have to be willing to like embarrass yourself.
Self-deprecating.
Yeah, I embarrass myself nightly.
This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. Let's talk about self-care for a second. We all have those non-negotiables, right? For some of us, it's hitting the gym. For others, it's that morning coffee meditation ritual. But when life gets busy, like really busy, it is easy to let those things slide. And sometimes the most important non-negotiable, like therapy, can get pushed aside. So even when we know what makes us happy, finding the time can be tough. But here is the thing. When you feel like you have no time for yourself, that's when therapy becomes even more crucial. So whether you've been to therapy before or not, it is such a powerful tool for learning how you set boundaries, manage stress, and just become the best version of yourself. So if you've been thinking about starting therapy, I do highly recommend giving BetterHelp a try. It's completely online, which means it's designed to fit into your schedule no matter how it's packed. You just fill out a quick questionnaire, get matched with a licensed therapist, and you can even switch therapists anytime if you need to without the extra charges. So don't skip therapy day, especially when it's as easy as BetterHelp makes it. Visit betterhelp.com/fine to get 10% off your first month. That's betterhelp.com/fine. Okay, do you ever feel like finding the perfect shampoo and conditioner is like searching for a needle in a haystack? So frustrating when hair care feels like it's a one size fits all. But that's where Way comes in. They want to give you the confidence to live your way, especially on wash day. So whether your hair is fine, medium, thick, Way has a shampoo and conditioner combo that is made just for your hair type. So for me, it's all about getting the perfect balance, volume without the weight, shine without the grease. And since I started using Way's medium shampoo and conditioner, my hair definitely feels lighter, bouncier, and just healthier overall. It's like my hair is finally getting exactly what it needs. So if you are not sure what hair type you have, Way's got you covered with their super easy hair quiz. I took it, was amazed by how spot on the results were. And it's just kind of nice to feel like your hair type is represented, you know? Trust me, once you find the perfect match, you will not look back. So why not wash your way to healthier hair? Head over to theway.com and use code VINE for your entire purchase. That's THEOUAI.com, code VINE.
What is with your watch game?
I love wearing fun watches.
Okay.
I mean, Plug City, they don't pay me or anything. This is Swatch. My grandparents used to always wear Swatch watches. And I just was like, maybe, because I was like, I want to buy a watch. You know, I think there's like a male thing of like a nice watch.
Yeah.
It's male jewelry, you know, like, and I somehow was on like Watch TikTok and you see these watches and they're like legit like $30,000.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't got that type of cash.
No.
And then I went on Swatch and I was like, oh, cool. I can like $100. I can mix and match. So like I've been kind of like, just kind of, you know, now I'm getting served Instagram ads, you know, and then you kind of go down that hill a little bit. So, and I get so many nice compliments because, and I do think of it. Like, I'm like, oh, what a nice, like, and I like to wear black because I hate my body, you know, so like.
Black is slimming.
So I wear a black and I'm like, with a fun watch, kind of dresses it up a little differently.
I've been around you a couple times now in 24 hours and I think I've seen you wear 3 different watches.
Yes.
That's cool.
Well, then I like put in my, like, I'm such a slob. Like I like throw them in my backpack. Like this is all scratched already. And I'm like, I you know, I don't know how to take care of anything. Yeah. I need a wife. I need to get married. I need a kid.
You need like women energy in your life.
I know. I do everything wrong. I don't know. Like,
what are you looking for in a woman?
I just want like, I want to like have fun. I do want, you know, my reasons for wanting marriage, kids. And I think I have to stop telling women I'd want that.
Why?
Because it adds stakes to it, I think, because it becomes personally offensive when I'm like, I don't know if this is it for me. As opposed to like, if I was just like, I'm looking at I could be like, well, he just wanted to But like I do, like my parents, I like hanging out with them.
Yeah.
I like hanging out with my brother. He's married recently. I like his wife. I like the dynamic we have as a family.
Yeah.
It would be really heartbreaking for me if that dynamic got ruined. So, and I talk about that in my stand-up. I want to preserve the dynamic of my family. I also don't want to do anything different in my life. I don't want to self-improve. I don't want to stop having fun. I don't want less money in my life. I want to live exactly the same way.
Exactly like me. Okay. Yeah.
With just someone who likes my company next to me. So take me as I am. And it's such a bad way to look. I know I'm wrong. Someone's listening. They're like going to DM me. They're like, you got to be better if you're going to have a woman in your life. And it's like, I know. I'm a piece of shit. I just don't want to stop drinking. I don't want to stop eating. I want to keep going on vacation. And I just want someone that likes doing that with me while sucking my dick. I'll go down on them too.
Oh yeah, of course. Give some, take some.
I like to eat. No, it's like I feel delusional. Don't you? Like when someone's like, "Do you want to find someone?" You're like, "I'm 39. What the am I talking about?" You know, like.
Of course, I want to find someone, but I'm the exact same way. I'm like, I've already done everything to get to where I am, and I like where I'm at, so I don't want to change anything for someone else.
I've said this, and this sounds mean. The only thing that could ruin my life is a woman. Like if you think about it, like the only thing that could ruin your life is a guy.
Yeah.
Like you get married, you go, we're in love, no prenup. Who cares? Caution the wind. Year later, he's like, let's do a Swiffer campaign. You're like, what?
That's my fear.
Right. It sneaks up on you. You go, and people say it all the time. They're like, they changed when the baby came. They changed at the wedding. They changed.
Yes.
Scares the shit out of me.
It scares the shit out of me. And I've said this on my podcast a million times, and I've told all my friends, I will casually date someone for a full year before I decide if I'm going to commit to them because I'm so scared of how much people change. Like, I feel like
You're speaking to my soul.
I'm so scared because it's like, what if in a year they realize, oh, well, I could get this kind of money from doing an Instagram and being her story. And then I'm like, you're doing it again.
Well, it's so funny how easily people toss around, oh, you got a fear of commitment. It's like,
Of course I do.
What are you talking? Why is that?
Fear.
Like, and you don't?
Fear.
I think you're delusional. You think it's going to go well for you? You're the one that's going to have a happy marriage, good kids?
That's delusion.
Right. So what's better, delusion or fear?
Both.
You need a mix.
Like both, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, my brother was telling me, like, he, like, went to stay with his, like, in-laws, and he's telling me about it, and he had a great time. He's like, I love them. They're great. But as he was telling me this story, I was, like, hugging my pillow. I was like, thank God I don't have anybody that I have to go to some brunch.
No, it's a scary commitment is a scary thing. I could never even commit to, like, when I lived in Vancouver, I wouldn't even commit to getting a couch. Like, I lived in a studio and I would just put a chair if I wanted to, like, watch TV. I was too scared because I was like, a couch, that's a commitment.
Right. I think we're the same person. I remember I, like, had recently ended a relationship. I was living in my studio and I was, like, mixing egg whites in a plastic bowl with my one fork. And I was literally going, I don't think I've ever been happier in my life. Like I had my one, like I was like one of those like those people that ride the rails with their like their stick and bindle. Like in my bindle was just a bowl and a fork and a dream of getting blown by a fun woman. That was like, you know, like
ask questions.
Yeah, that doesn't make me improve at all. That's all I want. Just a woman who doesn't want any improvement out of me. Where are you?
It's like when people are like, I want someone who challenges me. I'm like, I don't.
No. I want someone who agrees with everything I say.
Yeah.
Everything I say, but also has their own opinion to make me do stuff that I wouldn't do.
Oh my God, we're always going to be single.
Yeah, maybe this is the realization.
I just had a moment. I was like, oh, wait.
We'll be here podcasting. We're both 82. Maybe I could meet someone. We're just...
No, this is literally me. I was making this joke at my friend's wedding that I was emceeing their wedding. And
you emceed the wedding? What made you agree to that?
Oh my God, that is on my bucket list.
Really?
Yes, I love the idea of...
The fact that you call it emceeing
It's very
hilarious.
Canadian.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
In Canada, we MC weddings.
That's interesting. Okay.
Which makes sense because you guys in the States have like some random DJ who you don't know and no personal connection to running the whole wedding.
Yeah, DJ Jeff.
Yeah.
And here's the bride and groom.
Yeah, what? I don't like that.
Do you have, what do you think of like wedding entrances?
I hate it.
I hate it. When the groom's party,
and they do like the football toss and the grab and then they go laugh.
They're like,
and
come
do
up
a
with
twirl
something
of-
fun. And like everyone looks at me like, what are you going to do? You're the comedian. I'm always like,
God, yeah. Help us.
What if I just squatted and took a shit on the dance floor? Is that funny to you? Like I'm the miserable and then there's always someone that's like much more fun than me. You know, that's like, they're like, I'm sure you get this too, where they're like, oh, you're on TV. What are you going to do? And you're like, I don't know what the I'm going to do. And then like someone else is like the most alive person you've ever seen. And it's like this guy who's like, I'm going to go out there. I'll do a flip. And then I'll take the woman on my shoulders and I'll give her a flower that I made out of origami. And you're like, and they're like, he should be the comedian. And I'm like, yeah, he should do kids parties. This is crazy. How did he do a flip?
Make me a bicycle clown.
Right.
I honestly hate an entrance. I also there's a lot of like I hate happy birthday. I hate singing happy birthday.
Really?
Yeah, I hate it.
Yeah, I like a happy birthday for another table. Like if someone's singing, if I'm on a date and there's another table singing happy birthday, I'm in.
Really?
Happy birthday to you. I'm adding vibrato. I'm in. That stuff I like.
I don't know why.
Really?
I'm so particular about so many things.
Clapping on a plane?
Hate it.
See, I like doing things people hate to just watch them squirm.
Okay, I'm petty like that. I'm petty like that.
Right, that's the type of boyfriend I am, where I'm just like, I'm never going to change.
Yeah.
And I'm going to make you literally like
crawl out of your skin.
Crawl out of your skin. That's a fun, wow, I am going to be single forever. You're right.
I know.
You're right.
I was watching this. It was my friend getting married who I was like, at least I'll have him for the rest of my life because there's no way this guy's getting married before me.
And he's the one that got married.
And I was emceeing his wedding and I was just like, like joking about how I'm like, we were supposed to be the drunk, like weird aunt and uncle to everybody else's kids. And now I'm like,
you're leaving me. What a fun MC. It was supposed to be us. You were supposed to be single forever. You're leaving me. Congratulations, Ron and Laura. Hope you have a good life. I'll be here alone. Play shout. Play shout now. MC needs a break.
that was me.
That was you. They're like, why did we hire this woman?
I was like trying to make like jokes about how I've been engaged twice. And they're like, oh God.
Everyone's like, ah, cool. Is Kaitlyn Bristowe okay?
No, she's never okay.
Never okay.
That's part of my
This
brand.
is what they hired you for. Yeah.
That's part of the brand is that
Right.
I don't think I'm ever going to be okay. And I need somebody to accept that and not change me.
I think we're going to find it. We have to stay delusional.
Yes,
We
I
have
think
to
the
stay
delusional
delusional.
confidence really does work.
Yeah. I mean, I ate 2 subs last night, a sandwich for lunch. I'm probably going to get pizza on the way home. And I'm going to say to myself, you've had a good day eating. I'm going to be delusional. Tonight I'm going to think I'm hot.
That's me too.
Yeah.
Us too.
We were always going to think we're hot. As long as we always think we're hot.
I'll be getting surgery till the day I die.
You ever
to
see a
stay hot.
picture of you like weeks later and you're like, I thought I was hot that night.
Yes.
It's so annoying.
But I also do the opposite where I was like I'll look at a photo from 2 years ago and be like, oh, I thought I looked so terrible and I was so hot then.
You bring up a great point. I think there's a sweet spot.
Yeah.
I think a photo from 2 weeks ago will make you feel horrible. A photo from 2 years ago will make you go, wow, I should have been easier on myself.
Yes.
You know, I
Yes.
was just in Cannes, brag, and I did a panel with Spotify, brag. And then from one angle, I was like, that's the best I've ever looked. Yeah. And then someone else posted another angle, and I was like, why did you have to ruin? So I was one angle hot?
Yeah.
Ruined my whole week.
This is also a part of social media that I hate is that.
Right.
It's like,
Sneaks up on you.
it really does. And especially when I'll do a meet and greet for signing bottles of wine and girls will be like, oh my God, can we take that photo again? I didn't look good in that. I'm like, how do you think I feel?
Right.
I gotta see every photo back and not have a second choice. Like,
this happens all the No, I can't. I get people take a picture, then it'll be women that'll be like, okay, I got my good side.
Yeah.
They all go to their good side and they go, do you care? And I'm like, no, I'm just like a structure at this point. Like, I'm just like.
That's everybody's like,
Yeah.
okay, but and they know their friends' good sides too. They'll be like,
Right.
you go, that's your good side. So I'll be on this. And I'm like, what about my good side?
Right. No, I used to do a bit about how, you take the picture from way up top.
Yeah.
Because I watched a guy. This is an old bit I used to do where I watched a guy get told to stand on an ottoman to take a picture of women.
No.
Like the women were like, we want you to go higher. Just get on that ottoman. They made him stand on a structure. So I told the bit whereas I'm the one getting told to go on an ottoman.
Yeah.
So then every picture, people were like, where's the ottoman? Like every picture that I would take, you got an ottoman? And I'm like, I did the joke. Please, I'm exhausted. Can we just take this picture and be nice to each other?
It's so funny because like everyone's so sweet and they want to find common ground.
Right. No, there's no.
Me last night, I wanted to meet the Haktua girl who I
Oh my
thought
God.
was behind us. No.
So this is an amazing. Tell the story because this is crazy.
So Sydney and we were at your show last night, and Sydney goes, Auntie, that Haktua girl is behind you. Which, first of all, the fact that my 16-year-old niece was telling me the Haktua
Upsetting.
girl was behind me was.
Let's pray to God she
something I
doesn't
need
know
to-
what that means.
No, she thinks it's just like a lollipop. And I was like, no way. And I was like, yeah, if Brad Pitt was behind me, I'd be like, that's cool. But
Yeah, whatever.
Haktua girl, I'm like, I want to like just. I'm already thinking of Instagram captions.
Totally.
Like Haktua on 3.
Like
Like
absolutely get a video,
Yes.
boomerang,
Haktua.
Haktua, yeah.
And I'm just so excited. And I turn around at the end of the show, and she was really drunk, and she knocked over her chair, and I was like, that's definitely her.
Right.
And-
Nothing more Haktua than drunkenly,
Yeah, like cleaning
bumbling
up her
around a comedy show.
lots of sticks and knocking over her stool. And I was like, I looked at her and she looked at me and I'm like, are you somebody? And I'm like hating myself in the moment because I'm like, when people do that to me, I'm like, I know you know.
Right.
Just say like, hey, Kaitlyn. And they're like, are you? And it was me doing it. And I finally felt like empathy for people that just try and find common
Right.
ground where they're just like,
They
"Where's
don't know the
ottoman?" I'm like,
entry.
I probably would have said the same shit to you. If I took a
course.
photo and you did an ottoman bit, I'd be like, I'm going to say something that relates to his comedy
Totally,
show.
because he wrote the joke. Why wouldn't he like it?
Right.
You know?
And so the girl looks at me and I was like, it's not the Haktua girl. And she was like, no. And I was like, oh. And I was like, is she doing a bit? Is it actually her? And then I looked and I was like, I actually don't think it's her. And I was like, you're not. And she was like, what? And I was like, I got to go.
Is she from here? Oh, she is?
Haktua girl's
She's
from
from
here?
here.
Or she wasn't just out that night on like, oh, she lives here.
It
Yeah,
is
that would
funny
make
to
sense.
think that there's like other women be like, I get Haktua all the time. Yeah, I get the spit on the dick woman all the time. It's
I
kind of
do
like
just
my
look-
thing.
yeah.
Yeah, like because
Yeah.
I'm sure you get compared to other people. Like,
Yeah.
oh, you look like it, and it's like the worst. The worst. Like it's like nothing you want to hear less
look
than
like
you
Danny
look like.
DeVito.
Yeah. I was once on a date and a woman was like, you look like you have the same vibe. You kind of look like my friend's husband. And I go, oh, cool. He sounds hot. Like trying to
Yeah.
move on. And then she like took the picture out and I was just like,
No, it's never good.
it's never, it wasn't, and I don't want to like talk shit on the guy. Like, you go, who am I? But you go,
Yeah, that's-
you know what the worst part is? She's on a date with me. I don't like her taste. That's how much I hate myself. She's like, oh, here's a picture of a guy who looks like you, who I'm semi-attracted to because I'm on a date with you.
You're like,
And
what
I'm
the
like,
wrong with you?
What are you into that? Me. It's a picture of me.
Oh God, this is what I love talking to funny people on the podcast because I just end up getting like an ab workout from laughing, and then I
Is
have
this funny or sad? I don't know what it is.
it's funny.
All I want is to find someone that I can make a Clorox commercial with.
You just want to monetize off of TikTok with your new girlfriend.
Okay, you know that feeling when you've come home after a long day or a very long vacation and you retreat to your favorite spot in the house for some quiet time? It's the best, right? For me, there's no better feeling than loving your home, and Wayfair makes it so easy to create that perfect space when you can relax and unwind no matter what season it is. I'm giving a lot of spaces in my house a little refresh with some amazing pieces from Wayfair. Let me tell you, I found a gorgeous sectional that fits all the friends and family, perfect for movie nights. Plus, the shopping experience was a breeze. I used their mobile app and found exactly what I wanted and even got fast free shipping. So it was here in no time, and they even helped me set it up. So if you're like me and you love switching up your decor with the seasons or just want to find that perfect piece to complete your home, Wayfair is the place to shop. They've got everything you need, from living room essentials to outdoor upgrades and more. Honestly, I could spend hours browsing their huge selection. It's good to come home when you live in the Wayborhood. So visit wayfair.com or download the Wayfair app. That's WAYFAIR.com. Wayfair, every style, every home. Off the Vine is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. And let's face it, sometimes multitasking is overwhelming. Like when your favorite podcast is playing, the person next to you is talking, your car fan's blasting, you're trying to find the perfect parking spot. But then again, sometimes multitasking is easy, like quoting with Progressive Insurance. They do all the hard work of comparing rates so you can find a great rate that works for you, even if it's not with them. Give their nifty little comparison tool a try, and you might just find that getting the rate and coverage you deserve is easy. All you need to do is visit Progressive's website to get a quote with all the coverages you want, like comprehensive and collision coverage or personal injury protection, and then you'll see Progressive's direct rate, and their tool will provide options from other companies all lined up, ready to compare, so it's simple to choose the rate and coverages you like. Press play on comparing auto rates, quote at progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
I saw your death meal. I took a screenshot.
Oh, you did? What'd you think of it?
I liked it. I'm trying to find.
I always love knowing people's death meal.
Highest grade salmon sashimi, same page. I love a salmon sashimi.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know if it's my death meal, but I agree with the order.
As a starter?
Yeah, I'll take it. Yeah, I like
What else would you start with? Watered calamari? Okay, I won't give away your bits.
Appetizer? What am I going with?
Yeah.
Crab rangoon.
Really?
Couple goons.
Couple sea goons?
Yeah, maybe a poo-poo platter. I love Asian. I go Asian a lot.
Yeah.
Entree, spicy vodka sauce, penny or pappardelle. I like that order. It's not the entree I'm going. Maybe an awesome blossom.
What's that?
You don't know what an awesome blossom is?
Is that like a steakhouse bloomin' onion?
Bloomin' onion.
Oh, is that?
Yeah.
I was just making that up.
No,
Is it really?
It's a fried onion.
That's what you would take over a pappardelle or like a...
Well, as an appetizer, I don't know. I'm trying to think of like what I know exactly
nice
what I would do.
Pasta, like the best
My
pasta you've
death
ever had.
food, I would go to Cafe Fresh in Needham, Massachusetts, and I would get a bacon, egg, and cheese on an everything bagel as my appetizer. They
Okay.
have the best. It's a childhood favorite of mine. I'm from there.
Okay.
So there's nostalgia built in.
Okay.
Then I would have a full Chinese food dinner. So it would be like
Yeah.
wings well done,
Yeah.
duck sauce mixed with mustard, fried rice, house fried rice, pork fried rice. I do a chicken with peanuts. I always like a chicken with
Ooh,
peanuts.
satay?
It's like
Yeah.
oh no, chicken satay
Yeah.
different, but I would do that. That
Yeah.
sounds good. A lo mein.
Lo mein was up there for me between all that, by the way.
It was?
Yes.
I just, and then my finisher, like my dessert. I'm not a sweets guy, so I'd probably have like Joe's Pizza as my dessert.
Joe's Pizza's so good. You've had it, Sid.
Sides, McDonald's fries was yours.
Yeah, McDonald's
They got to be
fries.
hot,
Yes.
like car fries.
This
Do you
is
ever-
our
do you ever
death
get the
meal.
car
This
fries?
is like exactly car fries, like where you don't wait till you get home.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you get one for the car, one for home.
Yes,
and
we
they
did
go,
it.
oh, no one knows.
Yes.
Dessert, fruit and cheese plate. That's the one where I didn't understand.
Oh my gosh.
With a
I
side
love
of chocolate toffee sticky pudding. This is your list. I mean.
Yes. I love as a dessert. You know how some people, like on an airplane, when they offer me dessert,
Mm-hmm.
now I'm bragging because I sit first class. But when they're like, do you want this or a cheese plate?
You don't believe that anyone listening thought you were sitting Delta comfy. Like, you don't believe that, right?
I don't
This
know.
is me making fun of Caitlyn.
I always feel guilty when
This
I'm
is woe is me, Caitlyn coming out. When I choose a dessert from the basket they bring to Delta Comfort, you sit in first class, you lay flat seats. F you, Caitlyn Bristowe. You own a wine company, okay? You're a CEO. I'm a Delta slut.
Same.
You know?
I call myself a Delta whore all the time.
Really?
Yes, I'm a
Oh, I
Delta whore.
love
Diamond
it.
medallion.
You know, Diamond?
Yeah.
Me too.
Oh, nice.
So I'm already there, by the way, for the year.
Same.
Okay, so
Yeah.
we are one and the same. We're going to be single forever.
But we will be Diamond medallion members.
Well, we got one thing. You might have kids, but we have
Status. We have
priority
airline
boarding.
status.
Sure, you have a kid that hugs you and goes, "Thanks, Daddy." Well, I got Daddy Delta.
Delta.
You know what my idea is? And they kind of stole it.
What?
The lounges for Delta.
I love the Delta lounges.
I do too.
I don't like the smell though. They've got a very distinct smell.
They have a distinct smell. I know exactly what you're talking about. I always thought that they should get like someone out of culinary school.
Yeah.
And then just give them the lounge. And then when you walk in.
They have done that.
But they haven't done that. They didn't go all the way. This was my idea. And then someone was like, they took your idea. No, they didn't. They had like famous chefs.
Yeah.
And they do like one dish.
Yeah, you're right.
And it's like, no. I want like someone who's like a young, like people in their 20s want to work and want to feel valued.
Yeah.
When you get out of college, all you want is like a job where you like are doing something and it feels like you're on your way and you're learning. You want to learn. I think people give so much shit to young people. It's so stupid. All they want to do is work and get good at something so that they can be a valuable member of society. And how great it would be if Delta had like a culinary program where they go to school, you go Johnson & Wales in Rhode Island, you go, hey, top of the class, we're going to put you each at your own lounge. And it has a kitchen. It's got food supplies. You do you, boo. And how great would it be if you got to like, we're here in Nashville. If I go to the Nashville Delta Lounge and it's like a big bio of like a young kid, 23, who's like, I went to this school. This is kind of where I get my thing. My grandma, she's from, Saudi Arabia. I don't know. They've got a whole immigrant story, and you read it and you go, great, I'm going to get a little Saudi dish from grandma, and then you walk in and then the whole buffet, like snacks, everything is done by them.
Yeah.
That's my dream.
That's a big dream.
And then I want to have a TV show that's only on Delta where I go from lounge to lounge and I do reviews of everyone.
Hey, Claudia Oshry.
She what?
She has a show on a Delta plane.
She does?
Yeah. Her stand-up is on the Delta screens.
Great move by her.
I know.
Wow.
I was like, shit. I want my
If only
rosé.
she would have me on her podcast.
Did she not?
I've been on way back when. I would love to go back.
Yeah.
I've always asked. I get you're the only one that has me on.
What am I doing?
What are you? You really f***ed up.
God damn it. Hey, and they do well. These podcasts do well. People love you.
Do they? We had a good time last time. I had a great time last time.
It did really well last time, and people loved it.
Let's bring it back. Let's hope for the best.
Okay, you're going to get a show on Delta.
Right.
And I'm going to serve my rosé on Delta flights.
Yes, why wouldn't I can't believe they're not doing that.
I'm trying. It's hard to get into. You have to have a certain percentage of alcohol also that has to be in wine to be on a plane.
Really?
Yes.
And is it high or low?
I think it has to be lower.
Oh, really? Because they don't want people getting too
and I think something happens in the air with the alcohol.
Right. It's like why do people have ginger ale on a flight? They say like it tastes different in the air. Like there's something about it. Yeah.
Yeah. Isn't that what you drink in the air, Sid?
It's good. But they don't have diet ginger ale. And I'm like, 100 calories? Come on. I got to save that for later tonight when I'm having 2 subs. I got to save my calories.
Save 'em. I do that too. It's so sad.
You know how sad I am?
Yes.
Someone gave me...
Because I'm there too.
Right. Someone offered me, they're like, it was like you ever like stare at a spindrift and you're like, 30 calories? What am I, a pig? And then like later that day, you're just stuffing your face on crab rangoon.
I do this all the time, and I do it at the grocery store where I'm like, a loaf of bread for $2.75,
right?
When the one next to it is like $1.50.
It's so weird.
And then
how
I
we
go
rationalize.
and drop like thousands of dollars at Sephora for makeup that people send me for free anyways.
You're like drinking cane sauce. Raising cane sauce while debating, the merits of a 30-calorie. Someone's gonna walk by me one day and they're gonna just see me talking to myself, and they'll be like, and I'm just be going, "It's not the spindrift, Jared. It's not the spindrift. Your problems aren't the spindrifts. It's the 30 martinis you had last week. You fucking fat idiot." That's gonna be me, and someone's gonna go, "I don't think Jared's doing well." Is wrong with
I feel like I was on that path like a couple months ago.
Yeah.
I feel like I was on that path where people were like, I think we've got ourselves another Britney Spears.
I think everyone's on that path.
Okay, have you heard about senolytics yet? These are ingredients discovered less than 10 years ago, and people are saying they could be the biggest breakthrough of our time for healthy aging and keeping you in your physical prime. Now, I don't know about you, but with everything I've got going on from work to just trying to keep up with life, feeling sluggish and tired is not really an option for me, and that is why I am recently all about Qualia Senolytic. Okay, here's the deal. As we age, our bodies accumulate what are called senescent cells or zombie cells. These cells are basically old, worn out cells that aren't doing anything good for us anymore. They just hang around making us feel slow, achy, and tired. Like, not cool. But Qualia Senolytic is like a spring cleaning for your cells. It helps get rid of those useless senescent cells so your healthy cells can thrive. And here's the best part. You only have to take it 2 days a month. Non-GMO, vegan, gluten-free, every ingredient in it is designed to work together for maximum impact. I've definitely noticed a higher energy level, less aches, less pains, and just overall boost in how I feel every day. It's kind of like turning back the clock. So if you want to resist aging at a cellular level, you've got to try Qualia Senolytic. Head over to qualialife.com/vine for up to 50% off and use code VINE at checkout for an additional 15% off. Plus, it's available at select GNC locations too. So that's QUALIA life.com/vine for an extra 15% off your purchase. Thanks to Qualia for sponsoring today's episode.
Michael Phelps went on Fallon.
Yeah.
And I was drunk and I was in Delta Comfort, middle seat, big loser.
Oh my God, that makes me so uncomfortable for you.
I know. You would never know, Kaitlyn. It's been a lot of time, been a lot of years since you've felt the disgusting of Delta Comfort. I'm sitting there. It was LA to Miami. I'm like a sardine, and I'm just like I'm drunk, and I'm like, and Michael Phelps is on like Kimmel, or no, he's on Fallon, and it has this clip of him being like, you just got to take care of your mental health. Like, he's like, all I do is call my boy Chuck. And they're like, Chuck? He's like, Charles Barkley, you got to check in on each other. And I got so angered by this thing because I was like, is Michael Phelps like paid by like BetterHelp or something? I don't know what's going on.
Yes,
because he's always talking about mental health. I'm like, this is like the greatest Olympian. And listen, I am not saying that rich people, successful people don't have mental health issues. Like, in no way.
I'm not Michael Phelps, but
what's that?
I said I've got terrible mental problems. I'm not Michael Phelps.
Yeah, but you're doing okay.
Doing great.
You're a CEO.
CEO,
I hate that so much. So that's right, girl. So I saw this and I commented. I never comment. I just wrote. I wrote something shitty. I was just like,
oh no.
I wrote like, is anyone else done with Michael Phelps telling us how hard life is? While we sit when we all can't retire and we're sitting in Delta Comfort. It was like something like that.
Yeah.
And then all these people, I just got crushed.
Did
like,
you really?
Oh my God, hated it. And people were like, you seem like you're sad out of your mind. I'm like, I am sad. I'm middle seat, comfort. But then I went and watched the Fuller interview.
Yeah.
And it's funny, like what you put on social media is just like, people are just trying to connect. And like,
yeah.
I went and watched the full interview and it came up there like, well, is it hard for you to watch the Olympics? He's like, this is the first Olympics where I felt comfortable watching because I can't compete in it anymore. I was like, that's the speech.
Yeah.
That's the one where a smart person doesn't need to have it hammered over his head.
Yeah.
That like, take care, call Charles Barkley. Like, that's the dumb version. And it's so funny because like the dumb version makes me angry. Don't pander to me. The real version is, yeah, I was a superhero once and now I feel human.
Yeah.
And I feel less than.
They're never going to put that on social media.
Right. That's the difference. And but maybe that's why people get so angered and troll. They're like,
there's many reasons people get angry
and
and troll, but that's
hit them at the wrong time. So
yes, and it is one of my favorite things to do. If it does bother me, I try and think of like, okay, like I'm going to reach out to them and ask, like, are they going through something? And a lot of times they are.
Yes, everyone is. Even Michael Phelps.
I said last night, we're 2024 is on drugs. Like, everyone's going through something in their own world. I talked to you about this last night, but you have a freaking Netflix comedy special.
I have a special.
That's huge.
You know, literally, we taped our episode, and I found out the week after. You're my good luck charm.
Yes.
I found out the next week. I have a new special I want to tape. The one I did last night. That's the new special.
When are you going to tape it? I want to be in the audience.
I think it's really good.
I've always wanted to be in the audience for a taping.
You're invited.
Last night, I'm telling you, Sydney and I were like belly laughing at the whole thing. Sydney thought she peed herself.
I love it. That's my goal. I want the whole room to question their own bodies.
Bodily functions.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's an hour story about going to the beach with my parents. That's the whole premise. And if you're someone who's, 39 and a single loser like us, it goes back to like the relationship I have with my parents. I love my parents. They annoy me.
Yeah. Same.
Right? I think that's everyone. But what gets said a lot, like what takes up the air in the room like now is like, I never had any parents. And you're like,
God.
And it's like a lot of stand-up specials are like this kind of like trauma porn.
Yeah.
And you're like, I know what they're doing is a form of art and it's funny. But to me, like I live a good life. I grew up in a good home and I grew up during a time when it was like the largest middle class in the history of the country. So like I can't be that far away from most people.
That's true.
But when you go into stand up, everyone's looking for their angle, like, and I've kind of come to terms with my angle is pretty normal. and I'm okay with that.
Well, my favorite was watching people all around the room nodding their heads while laughing. Like, it was like the man beside us was probably 60, and then the people in front of us were 80, and then the people beside us were 20. Like, everyone was nodding their heads laughing.
That means a lot to hear. Thank you.
So
I'm proud of this. I put a lot of time into stand-up. The special that's on Netflix, I enjoy that too. But when you make your first special, like I've never like had someone be like, go on to, like I did Fallon twice,
cool.
Which was cool. But you do a 5-minute set. But like that came kind of later than a lot of my friends.
Yeah.
So I never really had like the Comedy Central people be like, do a half hour. So like I had all this buildup of material. So it's on Netflix called 37 and Single. And you can go watch it. But it's like it's a combination of like 10 years of my life. So when that taped, now it's like you have all that material from 10 years of stand-up gone.
Yeah.
So it's like, what are you going to talk about now? And I had this story that happened in like 2017 or 18 where I was at the beach with my parents and I got into a fight with my dad. And it turned into this, it was a 2-minute story. And every time I told it, people got sad and it like didn't work. But then I was like, I kind of like this story. It's just so interesting to me because this is so my parents, so my family.
Yeah.
And then when the special got taped, I was like, my mind was freed.
Yeah.
I didn't have these crutches of like other jokes that I knew worked. So I kept telling it. And then I went into like, oh, I could talk about my dad and I could talk about my mom. And like, oh, and now it's gone from a 2-minute story to an hour and 10-minute story. And I don't think it feels long. I hope it doesn't. But it
doesn't at all.
Thank you. And it's really like, and my parents, they came to the Comedy Cellar and I was working on this material in New York. I'm friends with all the people at the Comedy Cellar. If you're in New York, if you're looking for like, what can I do on a night?
So
the Comedy Cellar's it. And I know this like, the audience that we share, like I have a very like, Kaitlyn Bristowe audience.
Yeah.
It's not like most stand-up is like, the pleasure I got from the special was like so many people being like, oh, this is a stand-up special I can watch with my boyfriend, and it's not the boyfriend dragging you to like a Rogan bro that you don't really like. Like this is for both boyfriend and girlfriend, or couples of all ilks. So, but you go to the Comedy Cellar, like you're gonna have a great time, and it's like
gone so many times. I love it.
Economical and all that stuff. So, and make a reservation for any show. I would say to you right now, don't even look for a lineup. Just make McDougal Street or Village Underground. Those two rooms the best. So I'm doing this material about my parents and like the staff. Like I'm friends with like the managers, the wait staff. And my parents came to New York and they're like, have they seen it yet? Because I'm making fun of my mom and dad. And I'm like, no. But why would, and they go, oh my God. So they go and sit my parents in like the jump seats, like where like guests go. And you could see the whole staff is like watching my parents to see them watch the jokes. By the way, I'm not telling any lies. My parents can go themselves. They're assholes, and they know these stories. And they said, I start doing the bits. My mom is screaming, laughing. She's the loudest laugher in the room, and she's like literally in her seat, like disagreeing with it, going, "No, wow, no!" Like yelling back at the stories that I'm telling that are completely true. And like we rehash these things. That's so it's amazing. Like, it's like those stories you tell with your parents a million times and you still laugh at them. Yes. It's kind of like that's what the show is. So
did the crowd know that your parents were
right there?
Okay.
By the end I go, that's my mom. And I had a woman, she was like, I'm a huge fan. And DM me, she goes, I was sitting next to your mom. She was going crazy. Yeah, my mom's a character. Like my parents
are your parents.
My parents, this tells you everything about my parents. And it's gonna be a bit one day, it's not in the news show. My dad offered me his Ozempic a couple weeks ago.
Oh, wow.
Can you? And I go, what? He go, and my mom was next to him. She goes, yeah, just take this week. And I go, this is like doctor prescribed. And I go, don't you think this is insulting? And they're like, why? You need it. Take it. And I'm like, I'm not taking a bump of your Ozempic. Like, I'm not doing a line here.
Yeah.
They were like 2 high school drug dealing bullies. And I was like, I'm not. Take it, man. Come on. Do some O. You know, like, it was like very. Yeah, like, it was like crazy. And honestly, like, I'm a pro Ozempic person.
Yeah.
Like, I think like what it's doing for people, like, I hate it's interesting again to go back to the internet, like moral superiority. You have these people that are like, you should work, and it's like, this is an addiction. Yeah, this is an addiction medication. I've listened to all these podcasts about it. They're like it's helping. I think I heard that it helps people with cigarette stuff. Like,
oh really?
I think it helps people with like that thing that tickles your brain, and I have that. But this is how Viagra was found. It was like another medication that became this. That's so true. Like, we don't know what this is. It's early, but like, listen, when I hear about people like taking those, and it's just funny to me, like my dad started taking it, and I think he's on like a very low dose, but like he's on like the dosage that I'm like, I think this is the future. Like, he used to graze a lot, doesn't graze at all.
Really?
Like, he still eats, and he's not lost like weight where it looks like weird. Yeah. Some of the Ozempic people, they're like a deflated balloon, like a balloon that's been out for a little long. Yeah. And I'm like, I don't want that for me.
Like gaunt.
Right. I want like just a little, like, I want like a little tiny Ozempic. I know, it all starts.
That's how it all starts. I just want a little Ozempic.
I come back next year you're like, for my yearly podcast appearance, half of this chair.
And you're like, haven't had a sub since 2024. Right.
What'd you eat last night? Air. That's what I'm into. I don't know. I'm a positive thinker with that stuff. I think it's wonderful that people are getting help in a way. Like, I don't know, what's it going to do to the snack food industry? Like, I think it's like interesting. This is all funny, but like, the hard part is no one would believe that I lost weight. If I lost weight, no one would be like,
he did it
the other way. Right. Now it's only like the only way for me to lose weight is Ozempic. Like, the people would be like, oh, you got into running? Really? And I'd be like, yeah, I swear I joined a run club. They're like, oh, yeah, right. No martinis anymore?
Nope, just Barry's Boot Camp.
That's me. You know me. Jared Barry's Boot Camp Freid. That's me. That's what they call me. They call me the triathlete.
I'm thinking about doing an Ironman.
Yeah. So I had a driver the other day. He goes, you ever heard of the Ironman? I go, yeah, I'm doing one next week. And he like looked at me. He's like, what? I was like, I'm kidding. Can you be less shocked? So shocked. I swear to God, he almost drove off the road. He was like, excuse me? Be less shocked.
Be less shocked, please.
Oh, shit. What time is it? I got to make sure. Okay. Good.
Yeah, what time is your show?
It's not an hour. It's 3 o'clock.
Well, I don't know.
What am I doing? The daycare show?
I don't know. I have one game to play with you before I let you go.
Oh, no, I'm just making... No, I'm more than good.
Are you?
Absolutely.
Okay, I just have a couple what would Jared do questions.
Here we go. Would I do a Swiffer campaign with my girlfriend?
Yeah, would you?
No. How much are they paying?
Yeah.
How much is Johnson & Johnson giving these people?
Okay, I'm going to read out various funny and relatable dating scenarios.
Okay.
And you will provide us with your insightful take on how you'd handle the situations.
I don't know how insightful, but
okay, so
I'm going to answer for me.
Yeah.
And that will probably be 10% away from every guy ever.
There you go. You're on a first date with someone you met on a dating app, and within the first 15 minutes, they've already told you their entire life story, including their last 3 breakups, their ongoing feud with their neighbor. What would Jared do?
I would love every second of it.
I would take it and use it as a bit.
Well,
later.
yeah, it depends on, like, I actually think let it all out. Like, I think vulnerability produces vulnerability. Some people are like, that's too much. I don't believe in too anything on a date. Okay. Like, I think like
what about too quiet?
That's you. You know, then there's a right match. We might not be the match, but like there's someone who likes a too quiet person. You know, like I think like this idea of like too anything is now who are you comparing it to? That's true. You know, like if you know who's doing it well, you know, nobody. So
that's true.
That's a very like diet and exercise answer to that question. But I would also say I would then. Here's what I think. I'm not trying to be funny. Okay. If someone like 15 minutes, I got their whole life story, all the breakups, I would be encouraged to do that as well. Huh. And I think that's like a really good date. Yeah. So like I think vulnerability produces vulnerability. Yes. I think that's how you become intimate with someone. Yeah. Like, and Yeah, I think you're on a good date if that's happening.
Oh,
if you feel comfortable enough to give it back.
Spin zone.
I'm sorry.
I didn't see it. I like that answer.
The key to being a good comedian
yes.
is to know when to hold it back.
Okay.
And that was I think the key to a good podcast about dating is like you got to also be honest.
Yeah.
Because then people won't have, because to some people dating is like the hardest thing in their life. You know, like, and you go, oh, I used to make fun of it all the time. And I'd be like, oh, and then like when you help, when people go, oh, I gained a little, you go, oh, okay, maybe I should
I don't know.
Stop farting on air. like, what if I just, see, there's the key to good comedy, good fart noise.
That's so my humor. Okay, you're on a date. Your date starts mentioning things about you that you haven't told them, but you've posted on your social media. They even reference a vacation photo from 3 years ago. What does Jared do?
See, this is the problem. Like, I have people that are like, it's so weird that I know this about you. I'm like, well, it'd be weird if I didn't admit that I posted that about myself.
Right.
Like, that's the thing. It's like, I'd much rather that, where they're like saying like, oh, you said this, than someone who's like, I've never heard such a podcast.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
And they pretend they don't know anything when they know.
Pretending you don't know anything about me is way worse than admitting you know things about me. So I'm on the side of like, 3 years ago, vacation. Let's talk about it. Like, I would just go in, because now I know where I stand. I'm not living in a Looney Tunes.
That's true. Now you know that they're invested and that they've done a little bit of research.
And that I can go, oh, I'm not going to like retell the story. Nothing feels worse than you go on the date and they're like, I'm like telling a story I told on a podcast once because I don't got that many stories. I got to repeat somewhere.
Oh my God, I repeat all the time.
Right.
I'm like, I've been doing this for 7 years. I can't imagine how many times I've repeated myself.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you go on dates, like, how much could you have in the bag, you
That's
know?
True. Last one. Ooh, I'm decided between two.
Do them both.
Okay. After just one date, your date starts talking about future plans together, like vacation, Christmases, holidays, as if they've been dating you for months. What do you do?
I say, here's the problem, and this is like good advice.
Okay.
If people are agreeable.
Yeah.
Hey, I had a great time. Doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that is a fun idea. Doesn't mean anything.
Okay.
I would just keep agreeing.
Yeah.
Keep agreeing. This is the problem. Like, he said he had a good time on the date. Everyone does that. People opt for comfortable over uncomfortable 95% of the time. Most people don't get done with the first date and go, this was fine, but it isn't for me. Like, it's very unlikely.
Yeah.
I don't know if even people want that, but they're kind of asking for that.
Yeah.
But it's like, after a date, like if someone was like, and we could go to Machu Picchu and do the Inca Trail, I'd be like, wow, this sounds great. I'll bring some gorp and we'll be good to go. I'm going to just go along. I'm a liar. I'm a people pleaser. I'm going to look them in the eye and tell them everything they want to hear. And then I'm going to go home and be like, this bitch thinks we're going to the Inca Trail. I'm not leaving home.
That's like that
right?
Friends episode where Chandler at the end of the date can't just say like I'm not gonna call you, and he keeps being like, gotta keep having to go on another date with this girl because he can't say anything but, well, that was fun, let's do it again sometime.
Absolutely. It's the same thing.
Same thing.
And it's like people say everything to get to comfortable.
Yeah.
And then they go home and they reassess.
Yeah.
Life is swiping on an app if you think about it.
Yeah.
Like you're not just swiping once.
Yeah.
You swipe right on their first picture, then you look at their profile. Then you decide again, did I really mean the swipe right? Yeah. Then you go on the date. Did I really mean the swipe right? Yeah. Then you talk on the phone. Did I really mean the swipe right? There was someone they texted me. They texted me something. I was talking to this girl, and what did the text say? It was something like that. I was like, I don't know if I could ever date this based on the text that I got. Like, it was like, we're speaking a different language, and she was being very nice, but I was like, wow, this is a swipeable moment. And I think we all have those along the way. And it is frivolous. It's probably the reason I'm still single. It's why I'm alone at night and I have nobody, and I eat 2 subs after having a martini alone at a second bar that I didn't even remember going to. But, maybe that's the reason.
I'm laughing because it's relatable to me.
I literally got done at a bar, went to another bar, and sat, and there was no one in there, and there was a disco ball going.
Stop. Where was it?
I swear to God. Across the street from Soho House? What's it called? It's like a coffee cafe, but it's also a club. It's vegan.
Yeah, Flamingo.
So they were very nice. The bartenders were great.
I love Flamingo.
But they were like, I literally go up to the door, and the guy and the 2 bouncers, they were like, I was like, anyone in there? They're like, it's going to be just you, man.
Perfect.
And I go, great.
That sounds great.
Went to the back. But it's like, if it's just me, turn on the Dave Matthews, turn off the disco ball. Yeah. Can we make this a normal bar?
Yeah.
I don't need like, while I'm like sipping a martini. Like, put on the DMB. Da, 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 da. Da, da, da.
What was that?
Ants marching.
Oh. I wasn't picking up.
That's the worst. You ever pick a sex playlist and you go one artist and they have like a non-song? Ants marching, because like Dave Matthews could be a good sex playlist, like ding 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 ding.
Yeah,
and you're like feeling her soul, and then
And
all
then
of a
it's
sudden,
like,
dan, 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 dan. You're like, not really a.
That's
tune.
true. That's a boner killer. Oh God. Okay.
Right? Let's say
Now I want to go to a flamingo bar and drink a martini.
I'm in. I'll be there tonight, 1:30 a.m.
I will be in bed.
At 1:30 a.m., look out the window. You'll be looking at the same moon as me.
I love doing that.
What time is it there? Down the street? It's 1:30 here, too.
I love looking
What
at the
time is it
same
where
moon.
you are? You ever have that conversation?
Yes.
Dating someone?
Yeah.
It's two idiots?
Yeah. I love two idiots together.
Yeah. I was in Fra and
Fro.
Sofra, south of Fra.
Oh.
And my mom, what time is it there? That's all we talked about. What time is it there? My mom, I go 10:42. She goes,
Cool.
like, no, she was like 8:42 here. Good to know. Talk to you tomorrow.
I get so mad at my mom because she'll ask me questions and I just respond, Google it.
Right.
You can easily find this question yourself. Why are you
You're
asking
Google.
me? Yeah, I am her Google.
You're-
Like, just Google it. Okay, last scenario. You're out to
Last.
dinner on a date and your date insists on ordering the most expensive thing on the menu. When
The lobster? But how will I get home tonight? I can't afford anything.
the lobster and the nicest bottle of wine. And the bill comes and she forgets her wallet.
Well, she didn't forget shit.
Yeah, exactly.
I was
she
on a
conveniently-
date. You want to hear? It was so.
Yes.
This was embarrassing.
Tell me.
I'm on a date, and it's check time. I did a TED talk about who should pay for the date.
Actual TED Talk?
Yeah, they asked
Amazing.
me TEDx in
Amazing.
Reno. It was years ago. You can find it online. It's a more introspective look at the subject, so you can find it. But again, it goes back to what I said at the beginning about being turned off.
Yeah.
It's okay to want to pay. It's okay to not want to pay. I'm not like going to sit here and be like, if you don't pay, you're a loser.
Yeah.
You better be able to pay or you're never going to again. Like, I don't know why we have to go so extreme on it.
Yeah.
But so the check was coming.
Yeah.
And I like went to my wallet, but they kept coming over and not bringing a check. They'd bring other things like at the end of this meal. And I didn't want to be the guy like holding out his card, like on me, you know, like I was like kind of like waiting for the moment to put. So the guy comes over and he puts down this like tray.
Yeah.
And I'm like being hyper vigilant of like whether it's a check or not. He goes, this is compliments of the house. And it was like a dessert. It was like 2 cookies.
Yeah.
And I go, oh, I'm looking at the cookies. And she goes, and the girl goes, do you want to split it? I go, yeah, we split the cookies.
Yeah.
And I go, yeah, we split it. And she pulls out her credit card. You could just see her on her face like, I can't believe we're splitting it. And I'm like, the cookies. And she's like, what? I go, split the cookies. This is not a check. And she was like holding her card. She goes, oh my God, thank God. She goes, I thought you were actually going to do that. And I go, no, I'm planning on paying. I go, it's not like this is what I want to do.
Yeah.
It's not because I'm trying to like, pull one over on you. This is what I asked you to come out.
Yeah.
But like, I was like, you could put it away. But it was like this weird, it's like the worst timing of all awkward moments.
I hate when servers come in and they go, do you want it together or do you want to split or would you like the bill? And I'm like,
Just drop it. Let us
oh my
handle
God,
this.
just drop it.
Right. Drop it.
I hate when they do that.
We'll scrap.
Yeah.
We don't need you involved.
Or have it separated on the bill and we can all either put in whatever, or you have it. That's what I did as a server. I'd have everybody separated and then I'd bring the bill and I would just lay it down. You can either all look at what you owe or.
Wait, you'd have it like already split up?
Yeah, we had to at the restaurant I worked at.
Really?
Yeah.
That's very Canadian of you.
Yeah.
It's very like, I don't want any trouble here.
Yeah.
I
Sorry.
just want everyone. Sorry. Yeah,
sorry,
everyone.
Sorry.
No,
I feel bad when I drop off the bill at all. Oh my God, I'm sorry, I have to pay.
I don't know. That whole thing of like dating pay. If they ordered the most expensive thing, I wouldn't. I guess I would notice if it was like had its own section.
Yeah.
Like if they were like Wagyu for Wag Me, I'd be like, okay, feels like you're taking advantage here. But I wouldn't even. I'm such a wuss. Like I would be like, oh, the Wagyu, good for you. That sounds delicious. Can I try? Like I wouldn't say a word.
Yeah.
We should do this again. You know, like it's the same thing.
Oh God, the people pleaser. I do that sometimes too. Okay, so people can find your Netflix special on Netflix.
It's on Netflix.
Well, I hope that this is another good luck charm.
39 Big Fat Loser. No, it's actually called 37 Single. And it's on Netflix. But Instagram, Bachelorette season's coming up.
Yes.
I'm going to be yelling at the Bachelorette.
I love your yelling at the Bachelor moments.
I'm very excited to do it. I love doing it.
Yeah.
I dress up in costumes and I'm an idiot.
I love it.
Thank you. Yeah, and thank you for having me.
Oh my
Always
God.
a pleasure. And coming to the show,
It
so
was so
fantastic.
fun.
I'm so happy you guys had fun.
We had the best time.
It was very cool.
We had the best time. Good luck on all your shows.
Totes preach.
And I literally am gonna set my alarm for 1:30 just to ask you to look at the moon. I'm Kaitlyn Bristowe. Your session is now ending. And if I'm being honest, I wouldn't mind a rating and review.